This is something I never thought I'd talk about on the internet. Manifestation. Okay, here we go. All right. So if you had asked me 6 years ago or so whether I believed in manifestation, I'd be like, that's magic woo garbage. No way. And like, I totally get when people think that, right? Because it's presented to us as this sort of like magical thing we kind of have control over if we can like control our emotions enough, or like think these thoughts or do these things, or like put crystals outside in the sun and then drink the water around them. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there. But I pride myself in trying to make sense of everything, because there's enough people and there are enough humans in, at least especially in the online space, that believe in this stuff, and myself included, and I will explain why in a minute. But I just was like, there needs to be an explanation for this, right? Because I have been in situations where I felt like this is kind of magical how this happened, but why? And I have witnessed firsthand why exactly it happens, and it is a framework I use for my own self-coaching with my clients, and I think it's an amazing technique to use for yourself to look at your own brain and look at the energy that you are taking action with in your life and just how you're going about your life. My name is Chelsea Tanner. I am a flutist and a mindset coach for musicians, and I talk about the human part of being a musician, and that includes your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, all that stuff. And this is the framework for, or the back end rather, of manifestation. So let's talk about it. A lot of times we want to create a result in our life, right? We are hoping, we are praying, we are doing all of the things that we possibly can to get this result, whether that's an audition win, whether that's getting into your dream school, for music school, whether that's, I don't know. It could be anything. Fill in the blank here. Now, we all see these like steal my morning routine videos, or day in the life vlog, or like steal my whatever thing, and it's gonna, or like do my warm-up routine with me. And every single masterclass I go to, every flute masterclass, every Q&A is always the same. What is your warm-up routine? What is your technical routine? And it drives me bananas, because if everyone did the same routine, we all know everyone would get a different result. Why? Because of how they're using the exercises, because of how they're thinking of the exercises, and how they're feeling about them, and how they're setting up physically, because all of that plays into this. So I'm going to use this warm-up as an example, right? So we have a circumstance in our life. Maybe that's our warm-up routine, and it's Tafnel and Gobert. If you don't know that book and you are not a flutist and you don't like the music metaphors, well, you don't have to keep watching, I guess. But that's what I'm going to use for the sake of this. But it's basically a scale exercise book that we all use. And everyone does it. Every famous flutist I've ever talked to has used this book. Now, why are we not all the most famous flutists, right? Stands to reason. We do the thing, we get the result. But that's the most frustrating thing about life, right? We are not entitled to results no matter how hard we work. So as we go through and we're doing our routine, we don't need to just embody the routine itself, right? The actions. We need to look at the thoughts and feelings behind the actions, okay? So if I'm warming up and I am thinking that this is a means to an end, and I'm thinking that I just need to check this off the list, I just need to do this exercise at this tempo to get it done, then my result is going to be different than if I am thinking, how beautiful and smooth and amazing can I make this sound? How can I make different colors? I wonder what I could change here. I wonder how I could use my air differently. I wonder how I could make this more expressive. Let me listen how this person does this. Okay, let me try to imitate that. I wonder what I could do here. Ooh, that doesn't feel like a smooth finger connection. I wonder how many ways I could practice that. Those are extremely different energies, okay? Think about how you live your life. Do you check off your tasks and your morning routines and all of your stuff because you need to check it off, or because I wonder how well I can take care of myself today. I wonder what I could do to help myself tomorrow remember to go to the gym. Maybe I could set up my clothes today, get excited about it, instead of I gotta set up my clothes because I have to work out, because I have to do that if I want to look a certain way or be a certain way, blah. Totally different energies. One person is going to go to the gym and feel cared for, and one person is going to go to the gym and feel like they have to be there or else. This is the same in everything. We don't do things for a means to an end. I think there's a lot of people, and we have goals, and that's amazing, but there's no means to an end. It's always just living and the thought, feeling combination you have driving the actions that you take. So in any circumstance, it could be anything. You want to look at, what are my thoughts about this circumstance? And for that, you can check out my video on the box of neutrality. Really good. And this also is sort of explained in that. But the box of neutrality, you put neutral circumstances in there, and then around this box, you put all of the thoughts that you have about it. Look at those thoughts. Are they motivating? How do they make you feel? If they make you feel disempowered, inadequate, frustrated, then let's change those thoughts so we can have some different emotions to drive our actions. That will create a different quality result, because the quality of your actions are going to be different. If I go into a practice room and practice for an hour and I'm filled with inadequacy and frustration and kind of like disgust or hopelessness, then what do you think the result is going to be from that hour? I'll probably get really frustrated. I'll probably not want to do things. I'll probably give up sooner than I want to. I'll probably just give in to any negative self-talk that I have. If I'm curious, focused, and excited, maybe a little bit, like, what could I learn today? It gets me curious and excited. That's such a different energy than frustrated, hopeless, right? It's not about you then. It's curious, it's outward. It's like, oh, what can I learn today? This is such a simple shift, but if you can make it in little moments, it will add up. You don't have to do it 100% of the time because you won't remember to, trust me, when you first start. But if you can make these little shifts into curiosity, what's a vehicle to curiosity? Is it a question? Like, how could I get curious about this? How could I help myself? How could I relate to myself in such a loving way that all I want to do is care for myself? So I'm going to get curious about my practice. So I'm going to lay out my gym clothes for the next day, or I'm going to wipe my flute down and put it away and clean it and take really good care of all my things. All of those things play into each other, and they build and add up over time. You don't have to do them perfectly. Take it from me, in my experience. But thinking about caring for yourself in this way is really what creates the results that you want. Or at least it creates an environment internally where you are set up for success in the best way that you can control, right? Because manifestation or whatever, right? Everyone says, like, you got to think positive thoughts, you got to feel good things. Yeah, but the reason that is important isn't for the result, it's for you. Because why do we want the result in the first place? Because of how we think it's going to make us feel. And if you can help yourself little by little, day by day, 5 minutes a day, who knows, 2 seconds, exponentially more than 0, right? If you can help yourself feel a little bit better every single day, you will get so much closer to doing what it is that you want to do. And this is in a world where we have been taught that we need to work hard, pursue our goals, and hustle at the cost of our own well-being. And for what? Money? Accomplishment? Who knows? You train yourself to either think you are not good enough, or you're always worthy, or whatever you believe about yourself. But that will be the same when you get your goal or not. So if you're not trying to love yourself in this process and make yourself feel good in this process, your goal will literally be for nothing, right? We all see people all the time who are millionaires, billionaires, and they just don't have satisfaction in their life. They don't have fulfillment. And I would never trade fulfillment for $1 billion. What's the point then? If you want to think about it this way, would you trade achieving your goal for happiness and well-being? You had to give up happiness and well-being, but you got to look the way you want, or you got to play in a major orchestra. It doesn't make sense. And I know that in my life, I have questioned whether that would be something I would do, which is kind of wild because it's how we're conditioned to think, that achieving at all costs will mean more and feel better. But it doesn't, because achievement is not what makes us feel anything. It's our thoughts about it. And that affects our feelings, which drive our actions, and those create our results. And the quality of thoughts, feelings, and actions are actually the back end of manifestation. If you want something to come to life, you have to align your thoughts and feelings with it. If I want to make YouTube videos, I need to think thoughts and feelings that are going to empower me to do this and post this. And then the result, I actually have to let go of. I can't control the result, but I can control the input. The output, the result, the eventual manifestation of whatever this becomes, who knows? I have to release it. I have to let it go. But how do I get comfortable in that in-between? And that's aligning my mind, my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions with the results I actually want. Because I cannot grow on YouTube if I don't post YouTube videos, right? So keep that in mind whenever you're thinking that you want to do something, but then you feel yourself so resistant and paralyzed to doing it in the process. Look at your thoughts and feelings. And if you want a little bit more in-depth video about how to coach yourself, the box of neutrality, I will link that here. Please go check it out if you want to. And I will see you next time.